and this week's portfolio update, we're going to talk about Cisco and why I'm buying more. So this is my portfolio. It is a mix of growth stocks and dividend stocks and value stocks and whatever. Right now, I don't strictly adhere to one type of investing. Right now, my goal is just to get rich. And right now, compared to last week, my portfolio is doing pretty well. Let's go over the positions. Bank of America, we are up 10.79%. Cloudera, we are currently up 4.27%. Now, I know we're supposed to be looking at this from a long-term basis, but Cloudera has been doing pretty well this past week. But one thing I noticed about this stock is on a short-term basis, what it does is it does really, really well, and it inches up. Then it gets to like $11, then it scoots all the way back down to $10 and $9, and I'm really hoping that's not the case this time, but we'll see. Cisco, we are only down 0.74%, which is a major improvement from earlier. Facebook, we are up 49.49%. Intel, down 5.63%. Johnson & Johnson, down 0.22%. Realty, we are up 23.92%. Pfizer, we are up 14.82%. Qualcomm, we are up 85.06%. Revolve, up 44.91%. Sony, up 24.74%. AT&T, down 1.14%. Tapestry, my boys, up 107.44%. And Tesla, up 20.14%. That gives me a total equity of $28,282.56. We are up 20.97%. So before I get into what I want to talk about, I just wanted to clarify that not only am I a Cisco shareholder, but I am a network engineer that works with Cisco products. So I might be biased. And be sure to stay to the end of the video because I want to give you my theory as to where Cisco stock is heading over the course of 2021. So I wanted to talk about this last week, but I wanted to wait until Cisco releases earnings, which it did. And to everyone's surprise, Cisco actually released earnings that weren't shit. According to the CNBC article, the earnings, 76 cents per share versus 70 cents expected. And revenue, 11.93 billion versus 11.85 billion expected. So not only that, but as far as their guidance goes, their EPS is expected to see 74 to 76 in adjusted EPS and a 2% revenue decline to flat in the fiscal second quarter. That's going to bring it closer and closer to Cisco, I guess, being back on track. Because, I mean, this is true, and we're going to talk about this once I get to my theory. But, I mean, Cisco has declined 9% annualized versus last quarter. And this is the fourth quarter in which Cisco has fallen versus the same time last year. If we look at the income statement quarterly, yeah, you can see it has gone down versus last quarter, both in sales and turnover, which is revenue, pre-tax income, and in net income. It's not terrible, but it is considerably worse than last year, from their top and the bottom line. However, there is hope here, and I don't want you to sleep on Cisco. Now, is Cisco a stock that's going to 10x in the next 5 years? Probably not. But, I mean, I consider Cisco a value stock. It is a very, it's a company that's been around with a long time, that's still putting out decent revenue, even though it's not doing so well this year. And we're going to talk about that. But, I mean, take a look at his balance sheet. If you look at his balance sheet on a quarterly basis, look at his cash and cash equivalents. Look at that, 30,000. Long-term debt, and this is quarterly. Long-term debt, 9.5 billion. If they wanted to, they could take off a chunk of their cash and investments and easily pay off the rest of their debt. Easily. As far as cash flow, I mean, it's not doing as well as it was last quarter at all, but still doing pretty well. It's not terrible. Forward PE, well below the industry average. I mean, if Cisco is a company that you're interested in, like, this is a good price to buy it. Dividend payout ratio, 57.89. Very, very respectable. I mean, as a dividend and value company, I mean, I feel this is a solid company to invest in. Now let's talk about some of its downfalls. So, to people who've been holding Cisco for a while, for at least a year or more, you probably know that the pandemic was not the start of Cisco's troubles. The pandemic certainly exacerbated the issue, but that wasn't where it began. I first started investing in the stock market right around this area here. And Cisco was one of the first stocks I bought because I was new and I knew what Cisco was. I had a connection to it. So now I probably shouldn't have bought them at all-time highs, but I did. I bought them right around here. And for a while, there's been some ups and downs, but Cisco stock has been generally been trending up. And it got it right around here, and things were going pretty well. However, right around this time, this right here is when the trade war really started ramping up. Now, Trump officially put the first tariffs on in August of 2019. But before that, there was some back and forth that did not help the stock at all. Ever since Trump put those tariffs on, I mean, it's just been bad news for Cisco. I mean, Cisco got most of their parts from China. That's where they got the most of their parts from. And China was also a major buyer of Cisco equipment. Once those tariffs hit, seemingly overnight, buying goods from China just got a lot harder. The tariffs only got worse from here on out. And I need you to understand that even though there were some peace talks that happened earlier this year, like at the beginning of this year, those tariffs are still there. I mean, Cisco is still paying 25% more for its parts from China. It's still there. It is not going away. It fell off the news, but it is not going away at all. We first started getting the trade deal around, I think, January, and then that's when the pandemic started hitting, and we all know how that went. It just went bad news all over again. And now Cisco is dealing with the pandemic and the tariffs, and yeah, it was not a bad year. Anyone holding Cisco knows it was not a bad year. It's a good year for buy and hold, but for a short term, not a good year for Cisco holders. So let's talk about my theory here. Yeah, I record this right as it gets dark, so it's going to be darker and darker as I continue to film. But let's talk about my theory right now. So, unless things change between now and January, like it or not, Biden will probably be the next president. Biden might be in a better position or a better mindset to maybe reduce or remove the tariffs on China. That's just the way it is. He might do that. And unless I'm misunderstanding things, adding or removing tariffs don't require congressional approval. And I could be wrong about that, and please tell me if I am. But I don't think they do. So Biden could just decide to remove them, and then they're gone. So that is a very major possibility. And once that happens, China may remove its retaliatory tariffs, and access to China might open up for Cisco. And that means a better gross profit. The cost of materials goes down, so their gross profit goes up. That's the first thing. That's the first good thing that might happen to Cisco this year. Another good thing, we got 3 coronavirus vaccines in its final stages. Well, ready to go. Well, 2. BioNTech and Pfizer's vaccine is ready to go, safe and 95% effective. Moderna's vaccine, I think, was also 94% effective. These are being submitted to the feds for final approval, to the FTC for final approval. Not only that, but Johnson & Johnson's vaccine has just entered a late stage trial. So we already got 3 vaccines, 2 just about ready and 1 getting ready to be released to the public. And I imagine in about the next 2 or 3 months, people are going to start being able to get that. If these vaccines work and the coronavirus, the case numbers go down, and like it or not, no matter what do you think about the lockdowns or the masks or anything like that, we all know that the country is not going to get back to normal until the cases go down in some manner. So if these work and the cases go down, demand for Cisco's products demand for the economy is going to go up as well. Cisco's share price and its performance over 2021 should get progressively better, especially with the good job that it's already doing so far with the tariffs and with the coronavirus. So because of this, in my opinion, I am very bullish on Cisco over the course of 2021. And I've already bought 6 to 10 more shares. And if it drops below 40, I'm going to continue buying more shares. Now, I think Cisco is a very good buy between 40 and 45. However, when I first started into Cisco, like I said, I bought them way too high. And so I'm trying to make up for it by limiting, at what price I buy them. So what do you think? I personally think Cisco is going to do quite well over the course of 2021. And as a value stock, I'm happy to continue holding, and I'm happy to continue buying them. But I want to know what you think. Are you going to buy Cisco? Are you holding Cisco? Are you planning on selling Cisco? Let me know in the comments. But anyways, take care. Have a great day. Eat your vegetables.